Hi, John Lawrence here once again with my evaluation questions. This is the how did you use media technologies in the construction research, planning and evaluation stages. Well, ever since AS to A2, technology has advanced exponentially. Starting with research, you can start by just researching on the internet of typical markets that there are available for different audiences. So if I was to go into the Internet Movie Database and various other websites like that, I can find out films, who's in the films, who they are targeted at. If I want to go and get some primary feedback, I can create a survey on monkeysurvey.com, which is where you just create your own survey. You can print it out, you can post it on the internet. Send a link to your friends, they can send it to their friends. You get a lot of feedback from that. You can write out your own questionnaire, hand them out in public, you can put them up on posters and get people to email you, or just hand them back and do it yourself. You can go out and do interviews with people about what they think is a good audience, what they think a good film is, their opinions on the situation. You can get a good idea for the brackets, the age. I personally didn't go down that route because I knew where I wanted to go, because I did a lot of research beforehand on what is a good market to aim for, or who's a good target audience. I chose comedy because that opens up to a younger generation. Because if you did just action, they wouldn't be too interested from anybody about 15 or younger. I chose comedy because that opens up the potential to have a younger audience, although that's the reason why I stuck with action as well. Action comedy, it is 15 and older. The action sparks the interest of the older generation, whereas comedy entices in the younger generation. Same as I know that action comedy drags in more male audience than female audience, because the females are more into love stories and those kind of films. Software has changed a lot during the actual editing. In my AS work, I got stuck using things like Adobe CS4 Flash and CS3 Photoshop if I wanted to use it. I also got lumped with using a Windows Movie Maker, which are very minimalistic programs. I mean, the Photoshop and Flash or Fireworks are very good. You can do a lot of work on them, but if the hardware doesn't match up with it, then it doesn't work. And unfortunately, the hardware at the time didn't match up, but I'll go into that a bit later. But for my A2, I've got CS 5.5 Fireworks, Flash, After Effects, Premiere Pro. I've used a lot of Adobe packages when making my A2 work, because it is just a very powerful piece of kit, which last year I wouldn't have had access to because they hadn't come up with many of the features that came into it. But software has played a big role in my editing. Without software that I've got, I wouldn't be able to do most of the editing that I've got. I wouldn't have been able to do it so streamlined and quick. Hardware has come a long way since last year. I know it doesn't sound like a lot of time, but in that time I've got access to new hardware. Before, I had a Pentium 4 computer with 2GB RAM on Windows XP, which is, if you're not a computer wizard, it just means that it's a basic computer. It didn't have a graphics card, it was just a box stand computer, which was okay for doing work on, but it took a long time. You couldn't do powerful effects. This year I got access to an i5 computer with 4GB RAM on Windows 7 with a dedicated graphics card. That hardware alone gave me the potential to make better editing decisions. I could run 4 Adobe packages at the same time. I could do the audio editing while I was waiting for the videos to render out. It was a lot better using this new hardware with the new software. If I only had the software if I only had the new software and not the hardware, I wouldn't be able to use the new software. So technology has come so far to help with not only my project but other people's projects. I know that other groups have been using Apple Macs to do their work, whereas last year they had access to the same equipment I did. Cameras. Although the cameras this year I wasn't too impressed with, but there are other cameras out there. I mean, last year I only knew about cameras that went up to 18 megapixels, which is a very high quality camera. You also have red screen cameras, which are ultra high definition. You get the high definition cameras. But this year you've got all that and then more. You've got the 41 megapixel cameras, SLR video cameras. This vlog that I'm doing at the moment is on my smartphone, which shows how far we've come with technology and how it's helping anybody do any work they've got. That's how technology has helped with the planning and editing. Evaluation, technology has also helped there, because not only can I show it to my friends on my computer, I can also post it on YouTube, get comments on YouTube, get a completely new audience's opinion on my work. I can then post that YouTube link on other websites like Facebook, Twitter. I can post it on Google Plus as well, because there are more social networks out there, and then that link can then be emailed to other people, open up my audience even more. I can burn it onto a disc, I can hand that disc out. So technology has opened up my options even more in regards of evaluation and reviews of my work. If I post it on YouTube and somebody put a comment that they didn't like this, and a lot of people had noticed on this, then it wouldn't take me long to edit it and repost a new one. It's not a long procedure anymore where you have to get everyone into one room to do it. So it's more convenient. And YouTube is constantly sponsoring videos. So if a video gets enough views and likes, then it gets put on the front page, therefore open up to more audiences. I think that most views my videos have got is about 500, which isn't a lot in YouTube views, but in my personal views that's a lot, because that's 500 potential people who have viewed my work and give me criticism on, which makes it a whole lot better for me to have that sense of convenience for it. So that's how technology has helped me plan, edit and review my work.